Greetings. I'm going to explain to you something that it took me a while to figure out. When it comes to Home Assistant, running scripts and triggering actions in NodeRED. I have a desk. It's a sitting and standing desk with two actuators that I've programmed with ESP Home using a uh, what is that little thing? It's a Wemos D1 Mini and a few relays that activate when you press the up and the down button, and they stop when you press the stop button. And the challenge I had was to figure out how to create a button in Home Assistant that would trigger an action or a flow in NodeRED. And there's a really easy way to do this, and you do it using a script. So you define a script in Home Assistant that has absolutely no actions whatsoever. Then you create a listener, an event listener in NodeRED that listens for that script to be called. And I'll show you exactly how I did this. So first, as I fumble through, because this is completely unscripted and unsponsored, and excuse me while I take another sip of my beer. One moment. Okay, let's jump over. Now I'm looking at one page. It's called the desk page of my Lovelace interface, and there are three buttons here. And I'll show you. Let's go into edit again. I meant to be there. We'll go to edit, and I'll go to edit this particular card, and I'll show you that the first card here, the first blibbity blobbity, is a call service action. So when you tap, it calls the service. The service it calls is script.turn_on, and the script that it invokes is the desk_up. This particular one here is the script call service script. What? Turn on? Turn? Oh yeah, they're all turn on. I'm retarded. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not appropriate to say retarded anymore. And if I offended you at this point, then have a really, really good introspective look at your life. Script.turn_on, and this particular script is called desk_stop. Now, if we go to 3, you can look at desk_down. So all 3 of these buttons call a script turn on for those corresponding scripts. Now, you're wondering, like, what in the world is in the script? There's nothing in the script. So let's close this, and I'll go over to Visual Studio Code, and hopefully I won't uh, expose any of my important information, but it is highly likely, and it does not look like it's loading. Oh, look at that, all that good stuff. Oh, let's cut that out. Going to integrations, scripts. Okay, I'm going to load Visual Studio Code, and we're going to go straight to the scripts. Now, you can see that my scripts.yaml file consists of very few things. I've got desk up sequence. Nothing is in it. Desk down sequence and desk stop. These are the 3 scripts that I use in this particular instance, and I can ignore that because it doesn't matter. All right, so let me go back to, let's actually jump over to NodeRED. And keep in mind that once you define those scripts in Home Assistant, you need to restart NodeRED inside of Home Assistant as the add-on in order for it to work. Now I will jump over here to my tab, which is called Button Watcher. Where are you at? Button Watch. There you are. Button Watcher. Now, all I've got here to start the process is an events all node. So you drop an events all node, and you can see up here that in the description, it listens for all types of events from Home Assistant with the ability to filter by event type. Great. Now, if I were to attach this to something in NodeRED and I were to deploy it, I would cause all kinds of problems because this is going to listen to every event and it's going to send a message through NodeRED for every event. See this right here? Leaving this empty will listen for all events from Home Assistant, which may overload the WebSocket message queue. Do not do this. You need to put a filter on it to make sure that only the things you want are watched. So let's go ahead and delete this node, and I'll go to my node here, which is, it's the same type of node, but I've configured it. I've given it a name. I've said, hey, pay attention. And the event type I want to watch are call underscore service. That's it. That's all I want to watch are call service nodes. Now, that anytime a service is called, it's going to send a pulse through to the what the hell just happened node. Now, the what the hell just happened node is simply a switch node, and a switch node is like a condition node. Is like, hey, if the message contains this, go this way. If the message contains that, go another way. If the message contains, you know, pelican poop, go one way. If the message contains a giant taco, go the fourth direction, and on and on and on and on and on. You can have a gazillion different directions or conditions that it goes. So when a call service event is fired in Home Assistant, which is triggered by the button, which is calling the script, which is blank, the script turn on for any of those various scripts that I have that are blank. Remember, they're blank. They got nothing in them because I want NodeRED to handle all of the actions. I don't want to enter the script. I don't want to write YAML. Great for those of you text warriors out there. I just don't want to write YAML. It drives me nuts. I can't wrap my head around troubleshooting it whenever I have a problem. Just we're going to go somewhere else. So when that script is triggered, this node watches for it. This node, the what the hell just happened, if I open this up, it says I want to watch what property? I want to watch the message, and I want to watch the payload.event.service underscore data.entity ID. This particular, okay, JavaScript gurus, what the hell is this? Object, path. It feels like a path to me. It's sort of like a path. So I look at payload event.service data entity ID. I want to know what entity just triggered this dealio. Woohoo! Right? So I'm addressing the entity ID. Then for output number one, because I have multiple functions, I could do this 2 times. I could put 2 of these here and have one switch, but I have one of these here and I have 2 conditions in the switch. Fine. So I'm looking for the entity ID and I want to match a wildcard. So I use matches regular expression, I guess this is what this means, regular expression, which is another language that I don't know very well whatsoever, but I have figured out that if I make sure that this is set to a string, because that's the type of data that's coming through, and then I put this little caret here, and then I say caret script dot camera star, that I'm saying look at all of the entities that start with script dot camera star wildcard. So camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, camera underscore 1, camera underscore 2, etc. Anything that comes through that's a script that has camera in it is going to throw the message down output number 1. Anything that has script.desk underscore whatever, or desk 1, desk 2, desk 3, desk up, desk down, desk stop in this particular instance, is going to go down root 2, output 2, right? So in this particular example, I've got what the hell just happened looking at script desk, and that corresponds to the way that I've named my scripts. So let me go ahead and deploy this, and let's go back to virtual or Visual Studio Code. And you can see, remember, the way I've named this makes it easy for me to create the regular expression, because all of them start with, if I were to say up desk down desk, and stop desk, I have a problem. I have to create 3 different conditions, and then I have to route all those conditions to the same location. But because I started it with desk, it's really easy for me to say, look at all scripts, look at all the entities that start with desk, and forget what's behind it. We don't care. All we care is that we can find all of the scripts that start with desk, and we can send those through and do something as a result. So we'll go back. If you didn't understand that, please comment and let me know. We'll go back to NodeRED, and of course, we're going to land on the wrong page again. Beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, beep. Let's see, I can probably do Command F, and I can find button watcher. There it is. Okay, so if any, let's go back here. If any call service event comes through and it matches the entity ID of script.desk something, send it down the second output. Now, what happens next is it goes to this link out node. Now I can do a whole video tutorial on how the link in and link out work. That's a that's a add-on to NodeRED, but it makes it really easy to declutter your workspace. Right now, what happens is if I double click that and I show you all of the different destinations that it could go to, it's going to my furniture tab to the standing desk. So this is a link out, and then on the furniture tab, wow, look at that mess. We can see this is what's highlighted right here, so we know where it came from. If I click button watcher, it goes back to the button watcher tab, and it shows me where I just came from. So I'll click on furniture, it takes me to this. Now I know where to go, and I can look at, okay, this came from button watcher, and I've labeled it standing desk, so it's easy to find. And from here, I've got additional conditions and a completely additional flow to do the thing that I want it to do. And so once it gets to here, it'll say, it'll look at the switch and say which direction was actually chosen. So we look at, again, message, payload, event, service, data, entity ID, and we say, all right, script, if it happened to be, this is where we get detailed, if it happened to be script.desk up, then we want to do whatever's attached to the first output. If it's script.desk down, go to the middle and do whatever is here. And the thirdly, script.desk stop, do this. Okay, and so this is how, let's go back to, how do we get back there? Right there, button watcher. This is how we create a script in Home Assistant and then use NodeRED to listen for that script and then direct that message based upon that script to the flow that we want as a result of that button being pushed. So if we go back as a recap, if I go back to, if I go back to my desk, edit dashboard, edit, I can see, remember that it said for this up, we're going to call the service, we're going to turn on the script, and we're going to choose the desk up as the script, as the entity. All right, and we're going to do the same for the stop and for the down. Then over in NodeRED, in Visual Studio Code, those have to exist. Those have to already exist. So you can name them whatever you want. You could name it, like we said, let's see, Pelican poop sequence and giant taco sequence. Okay. Now I've just created 2 new blank scripts that could be used. And if I go to NodeRED, I could go in here and I could say, hey, let's add a new matches regular expression. I could say, hey, if any script comes through that matches Pelican, or maybe I want to be more specific, Pelican poo, maybe Pelican po, because maybe I have Pelican pork and Pelican pot. because we all like pot, right? You get the point. You can use wildcards to filter out this message. I'll go ahead and delete that. Then that message will come through. It will be, hey, it's a services called. What the hell just happened? Well, a script from the desk came through. So let's send it over to 2. We'll go to the furniture tab, and what direction is the desk supposed to go? Filter it out, do the thing. Okay? If that helped you, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, comment, whatever you want to do. Enjoy your life. Thank you very much.